Alright guys, so we're back working on Bella's car. As you saw in the last episode, we got it started, which is exciting. Which means now we just get to tidy up all the mess. I've done a long ass spiel about what we were doing this episode, so I don't need to do it again. But yeah, we'll probably just get straight into it. And just mainly tidy up all the wiring, as discussed. My sister wants her hairbrush. She's in my house. Crazy.
I don't know.
Anyways, we'll get into that.
Hi, Bailey.
Bye.
Bailey's going to help us today. By helping, I mean probably sit and watch.
A rubber chair.
Rubber chair.
So, we don't need this plug anymore. I bought a new one, and like we have to rewire 3 out of the 4 cables to it, and the 4th one doesn't even get used. So I've just fixed these cables because I had to cut them and play with them. And I'm going to take this up, and then we're just going to tuck this out of the way because I bought a brand new plug that I'll just wire up. That way, if we ever want to go back to Dizzy for some stupid reason that it's never going to happen, we are able to because it's still there.
And then what? You're just going to... What's it called? Crimple? Crimp?
Crimple
these ones?
Crimple. I gotta cripple them. Crippling depression. Me.
Yikes.
I'm just checking.
Yeah, crimple these.
Yeah, but I got this stuff too. I got some loom tape.
This
is what we're going to cover. Yeah. This is what we're just going to cover. Pretty much all the wiring in because it's cheapest, quickest, easiest, and looks pretty enough. So.
Splendid. It's hidden.
Voila, bro.
But the ooh.
Oh, I know
It's hidden
dripping.
like over.
Here,
I'll make it so you guys can see. There.
It's just tucked out of the way. We don't need that one anymore because I bought a brand newie. So I've got these cables there. These will just run piggly wherever we like, just directly to it, so we could easily see them, connect them, and test that we understood what we were wiring. And now what we're gonna do, we'll pull this up. But we want these to kind of run together. So, and I want this also.
Wait, so where's that connecting to?
These are the cables that go straight back to the Dizzy.
This?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we also have this intake air temperature sensor, which is wired up and all that. But what I want to do with these is I want to route them together. So we repaired that. Now this is it's a bit windy out here, so I do apologise. I do my best. But this is the new plug. Actually, you should test it to see if it fits, which it does, which is great. So we're just going to wire. We only need 3 of these spots with these cables. We've got the 3 here. So I'm just going to crimp those on, feed them into the right place, plug it on here, make sure it's routed underneath everything. Like we just changed where it was routed, so the intake air temperature sensor goes through there with this all the way back, and then it will tap onto, it's hard to tell, but it'll tap onto our injector coil pack wiring. It will loom tape this across, and then once they meet each other, they'll get loom taped together until they meet the coil pack wiring, where they'll get loom taped again, or as one big bundle straight through the firewall. Something nice and simple, but we'll start off with this first. Alright, I've done this one, as you can see, nice, pretty nice, simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Remember that at school, kids. But this goes across there. I've pulled it out now, but this all runs together underneath the intake there, hidden. I've taped them together because I want this to join in, like I was mentioning before. So now I'll loom tape from here into this, and then continue the loom tape here all the way back until we meet my 8-pin Deutsch plug back here, which is for these coil packs. To which then we'll do the same thing with the wiring for the coil packs, and then that goes in there, and then that's inside the engine bay at least. I still got to play around with the power source here for it, but that can stay as it is for now because we got to buy like a fuse and relay block here to do all that stuff. Alright, as you can see, don't worry about this, I'm going to fix that up later, but got the plug in. This wire's just tucked under there. I've got a cable tied all still, but all that spaghetti's gone. As you can see, it comes here. And I've just got to cable tie it all out, but that's all that side done. I just need to rerun and rewire the ignition source to the coil packs and the wideband, but that's easy. We're going to sort that out with that fuse block later. But that's the engine bay side of wiring done. So next on the list shortly, after we have a break because it's hot as in the sun, is sorting out this abomination of cabling. So we'll be cutting these back, stripping them, crimping them, heat shrinking them, loom taping, all that, and then hopefully we might actually try and mount this ECU back up in its original spot up here and get that all nice and situated and done for. So fingers crossed. All right, as you can see, we now have that all bolted up back in its factory spot. I have the two little holes up there. Left one is wideband, right one is a computer plug-in. I've got that just sitting, coming through the underside of the ashtray, so we can pull it out pretty easily, feed it back in. That's just temporarily. We'll find somewhere more official to put it, or we'll end up more than likely not having it just coiled up and sit inside the glove box, so you can open the glove box, pull it out, connect to it and tune it. So that's good. I was originally going to cut these, crimp them, like strip them and crimp all these and get it so it's a bit cleaner. So shorten these obviously so that they're all the same length like that, and cut and crimp them. But after having so much sex, that's me, I have all of the sex. Having so much success with the deepening of the, I'll turn this up here. Where is it? There. The wideband here. That's the plug there. After succeeding so well with that, because I'm so successful, and I can say that word success, I'm going to probably buy a 12-pin Deutsch plug and then put a Deutsch plug here so that if we have to rip out the wiring for whatever we do. Oh my God, I can speak very well. Shut up. Guys, my girlfriend's for sale. Just start commenting in the description, or in the comments, fucking what you want to offer for her. Yeah, that way if we have to pull out the wiring for some whatever reason, we can deepen the Deutsch plug and pull it through. But the wideband is pretty much all done. I also just need to buy an adder fuse to wire that in for the ignition source, and that's all sweet. Then pretty much most of the engine bay wiring is done, all tidied up. I've got to order some T-pieces for the vacuum lines because I need vacuum hose to the fuel pressure regulator here. I need it to the ECU inside. I need it to the wastegate over here, or either a boost line to the wastegate down here or whatever. From that, I also need to go to our boost controller, which we have a Howtech 3-port boost controller or something like that. So that electronically controls the boost. But yeah, I might, because I'm waiting for other stuff to tidy all this up, I might try and mount this up somewhere and start wiring that up and working that out. Alright, I apologise for the wind, but I've just mucked around with bending up this alloy bracket. Not super pretty, it's just out of scrap that we have. But it's going to utilise as a thread here that's sticking out that used to hold the aircon. That's no longer used. So that's going to sit around about there, right next to the wastegate here, so I only have to have short lines to go to that. And then I just got to run this wiring into the ECU. Once I work out which ones it is, but I'll extend it. I'll put a Deutsch plug on it, extend it, run it across the firewall most likely because it makes the most sense. Back into where the other stuff comes out and tap into the ECU. Alright, bolted that in. Not too bad, tucked it out of the way. I decided I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to run this wiring down underneath here. The Deutsch plug will hide under there, and I'll bring it through this top side here so that then I'll just run across inside the car. That way you don't get all the wiring clogging up the top of the firewall. Keep it a bit neater, and then I don't have to try and re-loom all this wiring down here. My brother also just dropped off the Deutsch connector kit, which has a 12-pin Deutsch connector, which means today, if we have enough time, I'll be able to chuck that on, and we can take this all, like loom tape it all up, and clip it up and put the interior back together. Bella's playing with her feet. As you can see, she's
doing great,
very
honey.
good help. Everyone here helpful. All right, so I'm getting ready just to cut these cables down, shorten them up, and then start crimping the Deutsch plug. So I've just gone through and I've written down, this is, I'm gonna put this down so I can point and video. But this whole side is engine side, all their colours, and then what they're controlling. So the IAT, the Dizzy, coil packs, and then this is the colours that they have attached to in the coil, coming out of the ECU. So that way I don't get them too confused. Yeah, so might chop this in a minute and start mucking around with that. What I actually might do, because I've labelled these as well, so I've got these bundled off, IAT, coil packs, and Dizzy. I might cut these about, say, there-ish, keeping these tags on here and keeping the rest of these, like tails, connected to this ECU plug and play harness. That way, while I'm mucking around with this, these still stay connected. That way when I go to do this side, I have them sitting there and I can cross-reference and stuff. And I can do one by one. That way I don't get them mixed up. But alright, as you can see, I got all the cables tucked up there for now. This one's all terminated, all pretty colours and stuff inside of it. As you can see, very simple. I just noted down here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the connector, because on the other one it will have the numbers reversed, so you can put them in the same one, so match 1 to 1. So I know how to do that. So now I just got to do the same for this side. But what I'm going to end up doing is, because these are only just brought out here, I'm going to peel them back through this film, through this loom to this side, just so it sticks out. And I have like this same length, but in its own loom. And then that way I can just loom tape it and wrap it in its own thing, keep it separate rather than it going like this and having a little plug sitting right off of it. So that's the plan, but I think the weather's kind of working against us today, so we might have to pack up just for now. Alright, so we're back at it. It's another day. Going to quickly finish off the wideband system. I want to try and knock out each system at a time so I don't get confused, because at the moment I've got like 5 different things that I'm trying to wire up at once, and it kind of gets overwhelming. So the best way I find to do it is pick a system, finish it, move to the next. So the wideband that we finished up the other day, or 90% finished up, all I got to do is we needed new crimps for these to push into the Deutsch plug, and then that's going to run into the fuse block over there, which I've picked up some adder fuses, and that's where we're going to get our power from. And that's the wideband system sorted. After that, I'll probably shift my focus to the boost T controller, because I got a new Deutsch plug for that as well, so I can continue and bring it inside here. That way I pretty much have everything that I need to wire into the ECU sitting here ready to go, terminated into their plugs. So for now, let's start off with this. Alright, see, that's all tidy, all done. Wrapped up, just goes across there. I just ended up grounding it out on the same bolt. I've got to cable tie these up a bit, just out of the way. But if I can just tuck it, that'd be great. But you get the gist of it. So that's the whole wideband system. A-OK, all finito. I picked up this Deutsch plug because the next thing I got to do is this connection. I only had the female side, so now I've got the male side. I just need to find some twin cable, long enough and big enough gauge to go through the grommet here, across the firewall inside the car, behind the dash, to the ECU, and that will be our boost controller, that our 3-port boost controller. I believe that the ECU will be able to adjust, which will be cool. So I've done that Deutsch plug, plugged it in, and then I had just a quick look at the diagram. And it turns out that one of those cables does go back to the ECU. That's obviously our output for it. The other one just needs to go to 12 volt positive, ignition source preferably, so it's not just sitting on 24/7. which I'm probably going to pick up from this ECU for now. Oh, not ECU, this fuse block for now, because I plan to rewire this eventually so that we have a few more accessory outlets, because that's where the coil pack's ignition source is coming from as well. And so now that means I literally have to try and pull out, I'm going to pull out the red to use as the ignition source, because that makes more sense to me. But got to try and have to pull that all the way through the sheathing, which is a bit annoying. So I might tape something onto it at the other end, pull it all the way back through to up here, and I'll just cut the whole sheathing off. Alright, so I've just had to pull out all these cables. That's the 6 coil packs. They were pinned into this plug over here, I think. Now they're out here, so I can pin them into my new plug. I've also got my 4 cables that go to the Dizzy, and my 2 cables that go to the intake air temperature sensor. I just got to work out which one is needed for the boost control solenoid, and then I'll depin that, pull that out, and do the same thing. These ground cables for these 3 sensors, or the cam / crank and the intake air temperature sensor, they all had they were all joined in the middle, like combined to each other, so that made it a bit annoying to pull apart. I actually had to cut open a bit of the sheathing, which does suck, but I'll seal that back up. But yeah, I'll have to just get these 2 black and white ones and this black and white one from here. I'll pull them all into one big crimp like they've done here, and just re-crimp it and extend it back out for that as well. But let me quickly work out which one. I'm pretty sure I chose violet black, which will be probably that one right there, if I do say so myself. So I'll confirm that, depin that, pull it back out, and then I can start crimping all these plugs on, like all the Deutsch pins on, loom taping everything, pushing the plug on. I can loom tape that harness down in the front here, get that all Mickey Mouse, and then in theory I should be able to just plug it all back in and it'd be nice and done. Alright, so that's the pin on. Those with a keen eye would know I had the wrong retainer in that. I had the orange one instead of the green one. But now, I don't know if I'll be able to do this one-handed, so bear with me. But this should, in theory, just plug in and clip in. There you go, hear it click. That's all plugged in there. I should be able to chuck these up into this. Ooh. One into there. 2 into there. Now if I go, oh, she's banging some tunes. Now if I just quickly reconnect my jerry rigged up wiring here for the coil packs to get ignition source, I should be able to turn the key and start it if I did everything right. So let me do this and I'll come back to you with starting the car. Okay, let's see if I undone all the progress we just made getting this thing started. The answer is yes. Fuck. Alright, as you can see, that big fail just there. I'm confident I might have found the issue. There was a white-black cable and a black-white cable. Black-white is just your grounds, but the white-black was actually the signal for the cam or crank. And as you can see, there is a difference, but it's not massively noticeable. So pretty much the black stripe, one is a black stripe, one is a white stripe. So the stripes are thinner. So I think, fingers crossed, I had these back to front. So beauty of these is you just depin them. I'll repin it the way it should. I'll try again. All right, let's see if this worked this time. I changed those 2 cables around. I'm praying to God. And God's, oh, maybe. It's close. It's doing something more. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but. Alright, as you saw, it didn't work. I do know why. This is just temporarily, but this is the hose that plugs into our map sensor, our vacuum line. That's built into the ECU. Alright, without this connected, sorry, I'm not really showing you what I'm doing. Without that connected, then the car's not going to know how much fuel to put in. So it probably wasn't putting any fuel in at all. Third time's the charm. Pray to God, but it should work this time. Alright. Next theory. It sounds like the timing is way off, which would mean I've got this orange and yellow backwards for crank and cam. So I'm going to try that now. Fingers crossed that's it, because if it's not, then I'm running out of ideas. Alright, fourth time's the charm. If it's not this, I'm probably going to hang myself maybe. We can all just say rest in peace, Matt, then. Alright, so I noticed I had all the coil pack wiring somehow backwards, and then when it was trying to fire before and it was misfiring, I changed the cam and crank signals around to see if that was the issue, and then it stopped doing that at all. So I swapped them back, and now I fixed the coil pack wiring. So hopefully it was just the coil pack wiring being out of sync, causing it to backfire, and it, in theory, should start now. If it doesn't, then I will be really upset. Hey, there we go. That's right, baby. Matt on top. Matt on top. Let's go. Give it a little brap. Doesn't like it. That's alright. Alright, it's the next day. I'm just going to finish this video up for you. So as you can see, I put that trim back on. That's all pretty, all nice. Left the glove box out just in case I need to access anything. But got the ECU all mounted up. The wiring is literally just tucked behind here. There's not even a cable holding this up. It just sits there happily. So I've left that for now. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode at least. So hopefully you enjoyed. Next episode I'll probably be doing a bit more engine-based stuff, like just tidying stuff up. I've got to fix the wiring for the battery so then I can wire up a fuel pump. I'll have to strip out all this junk in here because the access panel is right beneath the seat, right around here for the fuel pump. So we can swap that out, upgrade the wiring, rewire fuel pump, a relay for it, fix the battery wiring, and then hopefully after that it should be pretty much Mickey Mouse ready to go off to the tuner. I also just this morning verified I pulled both these out, which were part of the old Dizzy system, because we thought this might have been one of the reasons why it wasn't starting before. It's not. It starts without both of them. So garbage, which is nice. So now I'm just, why am I going on? That's it. That's all. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Bye. So my nose is running.
Go catch it. Fuck off. Yeah, that one.
All the way to that one. I'm doing it my way. His way or our way? We're back at it. I don't like that either. So, before I just showed you how to fandangle the male.
Fandangle?
Now I know how to fandangle the big fiddle with the female side. If at first you don't succeed, give up. Dust yourself off and try again.
No.
Everyone does that song.
Don't worry.
My hands are dirty. I would never. Anyway, so now, but don't worry. That is gonna happen.
Go.
God damn. Thank you, Larry. How the 80 series makes me feel. Kill me now.